Back in 2014, Messi revealed the secrets behind his dribbling. Countless studies and endless theories tried to explain how he could glide past defenders so effortlessly, but then he showed the world his own way. Messi taught us how to enter flow state, how to become extremely confident, all the basics and advanced things about dribbling, and much more that I will cover in this video. Messi's first advice before you even start dribbling is simple. Always scan, take a quick look around, notice how the defenders are moving and understand where the space is. Then, when you receive the ball, take it on your far foot. Why? Because receiving on the far foot keeps the ball away from the defender, giving you more time and control. From there, Messi often uses a feint. He shows the defender he's going one way, then quickly shifts the ball to the other side. It's not about flashy stepovers or complicated tricks. In fact, as we see here, Messi just cuts inside. Simple moves usually work best because they have the highest chance of beating defenders under pressure. That quick feint is enough to throw the defender off balance, giving Messi the advantage. He explained that his whole focus when dribbling is to deceive the defender, to make them believe he's going one way while he escapes the other. Another key point he shared is scanning for space. Messi doesn't just dribble blindly into defenders, he looks for gaps, for the little exit routes where he can burst through. That's what makes him almost impossible to stop. He also gave one of the most valuable tips for young players. Learn to beat defenders both inside and outside. If you only go one direction, defenders will predict you. But if you're dangerous on both sides, they can't read your next move. That's when dribbling becomes unstoppable. Messi uses tight control, quick thinking, and smart body movement. If you want to dribble like Messi, here's what you need to focus on. The first rule of Messi's dribbling is to keep the ball under control at all times. He takes very short, frequent touches, often one touch for every step. This way, the ball feels like it's glued to his feet. Defenders can't guess when to challenge because Messi always has it within reach. To practice this, set up cones and weave through them as quickly as you can. Start slow, then build up speed while keeping the ball tight to your feet. Messi's low center of gravity is a huge advantage. He bends his knees, stays balanced, and uses his body to stay explosive. This helps him change direction instantly, something defenders struggle to react to. He also shields the ball perfectly, using his body to block defenders while keeping control. Another small detail is how he uses his arms, not just for balance but also to create space and stay strong when defenders push into him. Messi doesn't rely on flashy tricks. Most of the time, he beats defenders with a quick cut, a body feint, or just a sudden change of pace. For example, he often fakes like he's going one way, then quickly shifts the ball in the opposite direction. This simple movement throws defenders off balance and gives him space to attack. The lesson here: don't overcomplicate dribbling. Simple moves are usually the most effective, especially at high speed. Messi only dribbles when there's a clear purpose, either to score, create a chance, or break through pressure. He doesn't dribble just to show off. That's why every run he makes feels dangerous. To play like him, you need to keep your head up while dribbling. Always scan the field so you know where defenders, teammates, and open space are. Also, be strong on the ball. Defenders will try to push and kick you, but Messi proves that staying calm and balanced under contact is key. Messi's dribbling didn't happen overnight. It came from endless practice. Work on using both feet so you can attack defenders in any direction. Kick the ball against the wall to sharpen your control and first touch. And watch Messi's highlights, not to copy every move, but to notice how often he uses simple feints, cuts, and changes of pace. Over time, your brain and body will start to pick up those habits. To dribble like Messi, you don't need 20 fancy tricks. You need close control, balance, body strength, and smart decisions. Now here's something surprising Messi once told a young player at Inter Miami: walk more during the match.
You know, what's the best bit of advice Leo's given you so far? And he said to walk more.
At first it sounds strange. Why would one of the greatest dribblers ever tell you to walk? But there's genius behind it. Messi explained that when he walks, the game slows down for him. He can clearly see the spaces, the gaps defenders are leaving, and the areas where a dribble will actually work. Walking helps him stay calm. His brain doesn't overthink, he doesn't freeze up, he just observes, analyzes, and lets his instincts take over. And that's the secret: instincts. The best dribblers don't panic or hesitate, they let their body flow naturally. Later in this video, we'll talk about how Messi enters that flow state. But first, let's focus on how you can apply this walk more technique yourself. When you receive the ball, confidence is everything. If you're nervous, your mind goes blank and you'll probably lose the ball. But if you stay calm, just like Messi, your vision sharpens. You'll see your options, the open space, the defender's weak side, and the safest path to keep possession. Walking isn't being lazy, it's conserving energy, controlling your nerves, and giving your brain the chance to scan the field before making your move. If you want to become extremely confident while dribbling, the first step is to understand that confidence doesn't magically appear. It's built through habits, preparation, and mindset. Most players lose the ball not because they lack skill, but because nerves take over. Their brain freezes, they hesitate for half a second, and by then the defender has already won the ball. Messi himself has shown that confidence comes from creating an environment where your brain doesn't panic. So how do you actually train this? Start with repetition. The more touches you take on the ball every day, the more natural it feels under your feet. If the ball feels like part of your body, you won't be scared of losing it. Try simple drills like dribbling through cones, juggling, or even just moving the ball side to side while walking. Do it so often that you don't have to look down. Once that happens, your confidence skyrockets because you know you can control the ball anywhere, anytime. The second key is learning to stay calm after receiving the ball. A lot of young players panic as soon as the ball comes to them. They rush their first touch, or they pass it away instantly because they're afraid of losing it. To build confidence, you have to change that habit. Before every training session, practice receiving the ball and just holding it for a second while shielding it from an imaginary defender. This helps your brain get used to the idea that having the ball is safe. You don't need to panic. With time, you'll start feeling comfortable in tight spaces. Next, practice decision making. Confidence comes when you know what you're going to do before you touch the ball. This doesn't mean predicting every move perfectly, but it means having a plan. For example, tell yourself, if the defender steps in, I'll push it past him. If he stays back, I'll feint and cut inside. By preparing these small decisions in your head, you won't freeze when the moment arrives. Another important tip is to control your breathing. Sounds small, but it's huge. When players get nervous, they hold their breath, their body tenses up, and they lose balance. Messi often looks relaxed because he's breathing normally, even in high-pressure moments. Try it yourself. Before receiving the ball, take a slow breath out. It instantly relaxes your muscles and gives you more control over your movements. Confidence grows when you face challenges. Don't avoid one-on-one situations in training or matches. Instead, embrace them. Even if you lose the ball sometimes, it teaches you more than playing safe all the time. Each time you beat a defender, your brain stores it as proof. You can do it. The more proof you collect, the more unstoppable your confidence becomes. So remember, build control through repetition, stay calm on your first touch, make quick decisions, control your breathing, and never shy away from one-on-ones. Do this consistently, and you'll find yourself dribbling with the same fearless confidence that makes players like Messi look untouchable. In football, you'll often hear people say things like, "I was just in the zone," or "everything felt natural today." That feeling has a name. It's called flow state. Flow is when you play without overthinking, when your movements feel automatic, and when the game almost slows down around you. Every touch feels clean, every decision feels right, and you're not forcing anything. It's the state Messi, Neymar, and all the greats often talk about, the sweet spot where skill meets instinct. So, what exactly is flow state? Flow is a mental and physical condition where you're fully locked into the moment. Psychologists describe it as optimal experience, where your focus is so sharp that distractions disappear and you perform at your absolute best. In football, it looks like this. You're dribbling, and instead of thinking, should I cut inside or pass? Your body already knows what to do. You see the defender lean slightly the wrong way, and your instincts take over before your brain even catches up. But here's the truth. Flow doesn't just happen. You can train yourself to enter it more often. Let's break down exactly how. Flow starts before you even step on the pitch. If you show up stressed, overthinking mistakes, or doubting yourself, you'll block your own mind from relaxing. That's why players like Messi often look so calm before big games. He's not worried about failing, he's focused on enjoying the game. To prepare, create a simple pre-game routine. This could be listening to music, doing breathing exercises, or visualizing yourself playing well. The key is to clear your head. Think about 1 or 2 things you want to focus on, like quick touches or scanning the field, rather than filling your brain with dozens of instructions. Simplicity clears the path to flow. One of the biggest killers of flow is thinking too much about the past or future. If you're stuck on, "I lost the ball last time," or "what if I mess up this chance?" you'll choke. Flow only happens when your brain is in the present. So during games, remind yourself, one play at a time. If you lose the ball, let it go instantly and focus on winning it back or preparing for the next moment. If you score a goal, enjoy it, but don't let it distract you from the rest of the match. The present moment is the only place where flow exists. Here's something people overlook. Your body can influence your mind. If you move confidently, your brain starts to believe it. Messi often jogs, walks, or even slows the game down, but notice how he carries himself: calm, balanced, controlled. That body language helps him stay relaxed and sharp. Try it yourself. When you get the ball, don't hunch or rush. Stay low, keep your chest open, and move like you're in control. That posture signals confidence to your brain, which pushes you closer to flow. To stay in flow, you also need to avoid the common mistakes that destroy it. Overthinking. If you're constantly analyzing every touch, you'll slow yourself down. Fear of mistakes. Being scared of losing the ball will make you play safe and stiff. Forcing things, trying too hard to show off, kills flow, because flow is about natural instinct, not pressure. Negative self-talk, saying things like, "I'm not good enough," or "Don't mess this up." Step negative talking. Here's a piece of advice that I really believe young players need to hear. Don't try to copy Messi's style. It's impossible. There's only one Messi, and no matter how many times you practice, you won't become a carbon copy of him. And honestly, you shouldn't even want to. What you should do is analyze him, learn from him, get inspired, and then use that knowledge to create your own style. That's how you'll stand out. Let's break it down. Messi's dribbling, passing, and decision-making come from a mix of natural talent, unique body structure, years of practice, and a brain that sees football differently from anyone else. He's left-footed, extremely low to the ground, and has a rhythm that defenders can't match. If you try to copy every little thing he does, you'll only frustrate yourself, because your body, your strengths, and your football brain are different. But that doesn't mean you ignore him. In fact, the smart move is to study Messi like a textbook. Watch how he positions his body when dribbling, how he protects the ball, how he waits for defenders to make the first mistake. Pay attention to his patience, his timing, his composure under pressure. These are lessons every player can use, no matter their position or playing style. The mistake most young players make is thinking football greatness is about imitation. They see Messi cut inside onto his left foot, so they try to do the exact same thing. But here's the truth. What works for Messi might not work for you. Maybe your strength is raw speed, maybe it's close control, maybe it's vision and passing. If you try to force Messi's movements into your game, you might ignore your own natural gifts, and that's how players end up average. Instead, think of Messi as a guide. He shows you the possibilities of what football can look like at the highest level. But then, you have to take that inspiration and translate it into your own version. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't try to copy Messi. Neymar didn't try to copy Messi. Mbappe doesn't copy Messi. They all studied him, sure, but then they built their own unique identities. That's why fans recognize them instantly. They're not duplicates, they're originals. Here's a simple way to put it. Analyze, don't imitate. Watch Messi's matches and take notes. Notice the way he scans before dribbling. Notice how he slows down before speeding up. Notice how he doesn't always sprint, but walks to read the game. These are principles, they're lessons. You can take them and adapt them to your own style. For example, maybe you're taller and stronger than Messi. That means your dribbling won't look as quick and low to the ground, but you can still use his scanning habit and his patience to dominate in your own way. Or maybe you're naturally right-footed. That's fine. You can study how Messi protects the ball with his left, then apply that same principle using your stronger side. The point is, you don't copy the exact move, you copy the thinking behind the move. Another big reason you shouldn't copy Messi is that football isn't about being the next someone, it's about being the first you. If you try to be Messi, at best, you'll end up a cheap version of him. But if you build your own unique style, combining inspiration from Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Zidane, whoever, you'll create something new. And new is what gets remembered. New is what makes defenders struggle because they don't know what's coming. Confidence also comes from uniqueness. When you know you're not pretending to be someone else, you play more freely. You stop comparing every touch to Messi's touch and start embracing your own rhythm. That's when you actually start improving faster because you're not forcing yourself into a style that doesn't fit. Think about street footballers. Every kid plays differently. Some dribble with flair, some keep it simple, some use speed, some use strength. The best ones are the ones who lean into their own strengths, not the ones who try to copy every freestyle skill they saw online. Football rewards authenticity. So here's my challenge for you. Watch Messi, study him, admire him, but after that, look at yourself in the mirror and ask, what do I do best? Is it dribbling, passing, shooting, vision, strength? Build your game around that. Take the lessons from Messi and use them as tools to sharpen your own weapon, not to replace it. For example, if you're naturally a creative passer, study how Messi disguises his passes and keeps defenders guessing. If you're a quick winger, look at how Messi times his acceleration after a feint. If you're a striker, notice how Messi positions his body before shooting. Don't copy the whole style, just pick the principles that match your role and then expand on them in your own way. And let's be real, you don't need to be Messi to dominate. Plenty of world-class players have completely different styles. Haaland doesn't dribble like Messi, but he scores goals non-stop. De Bruyne doesn't dribble like Messi, but his passing range is unmatched. Sergio Ramos never dribbled like Messi, but he was one of the best defenders in the world. What made them great is that they maximized their own strengths instead of trying to be a clone of someone else. In the end, the lesson is simple. Messi is the greatest, but even he would tell you not to copy him. He didn't copy anyone else. He built his own style from practice, instincts, and confidence. And that's exactly what you should do. Analyze him, learn the lessons, but then create your own version of greatness. That's the only way to stand out in this game. So yes, get inspired by Messi, study his genius, but don't be the next Messi, be the first you.